Welcome to Tech Talk English.
Today, we are going to deal with the next 5 paragraphs of the short story, A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings, written by Gabriel García Márquez. The contrast between the mundane, muddy reality and the supernatural is what makes magical realism so haunting. Here he uses highly specific, evocative vocabulary to strip the angel of typical divine majesty and ground him in a gritty, muddy reality. Next, here I am coming into the vocabulary parts or new words. The first word is rag picker. Rag picker. Who is a rag picker? A person who collects and sells rags and reviews bags, scrap paper, old clothes from streets or dumps to make a living. Instead of appearing in shining heavenly robes, the man is dressed like the poorest of the poor. This immediately subverts the reader's expectations of what a divine being should look like. Now let's come to the next new word, drench. Completely wet or soaked through. What is the context in the story, or in which context the word is used? Describing the old man as a drenched great father emphasizes his extreme vulnerability, weakness, and pathetic state. He isn't flying majestically through the storm. He has been completely defeated by the rain. Now let's come to the next new word, grandeur. It means splendor, magnificence, or nobility of character, appearance of style. Now let's see in which context the word grandeur is used in the story. The text explicitly states that his pitiful condition took away any sense of grandeur he might have had. Marcus is intentionally stripping away the traditional glory, beauty, and power associated with angels. Now let's come to the next new word, buzzard. 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 What is buzzard? A large predatory bird similar to a vulture that typically feeds on carrion, that is dead animals. Now let's see the context buzzard is used. Instead of beautiful white swan-like angel wings, his wings are compared to a scavenger bird. They are dirty, half-plucked, and stuck in the mud, making him look more like a dying animal than a heavenly creature. Next new word is incomprehensible. Let's see what does incomprehensible mean. Impossible to understand, unintelligible. Let's see what's the context in the story. When Pelayo and Elisenda speak to him, he answers in an incomprehensible dialect. This creates a barrier of communication, leaving his true identity a mystery and emphasizing his status as an outsider. Next new word is castaway. Let's see what's castaway. A person who has been shipwrecked and stranded in an isolated place. Now let's see where castaway, the new word, is used. Because he speaks with a strong sailor's voice and is found by the sea after a storm, the couple initially concludes he is just a lonely survivor from a foreign ship rather than anything supernatural. Now let's get into the structural elements used in these paragraphs. Okay, the first one is parataxis. Do you know what is parataxis? Now let's get familiarized with this structure. Parataxis. First of all, I can say to understand parataxis, we must understand its opposite, hypotaxis. Now let's see what are they. Let us get it clear through examples. Because the heavy tropical storm had raged all night, the old man's massive wings became hopelessly entangled in the thick mud. See, in this sentence, the word because forces a logical cause and effect hierarchy. The storm is the cause, the stuck wings are the effect. Did you notice the point? So, this example is hierarchical. In hypotaxis, sentences use a hierarchy. That is, one clause is dominant and the other is dependent or subordinate. The grammar explicitly tells the reader how to feel or think about the relationship between two ideas. Now let's see another example. Listen carefully. The storm raged all night, and his huge buzzard wings were entangled in the mud. Here you can notice the shift. Did you see an and is used here? Here and is used as coordinating conjunction. Using and, the two clauses are suddenly given equal weight. Here you can see the text doesn't explicitly force the cause and effect relationship on you. It simply places two facts side by side on the counter and lets you look at them simultaneously. Then you pay attention to your textual sentence. There were only a few faded hairs left on his bald skull and very few teeth in his mouth. Later in the paragraph, we see another classic parataxis sentence. Then they called in a neighbor woman to see him. All she needed was one loaf. Are you clear now? You know, Gabriel Marquez is a master of magical realism. The core tenet of magical realism is to treat the supernatural as completely ordinary and the ordinary as deeply strange. Now I think you could have understood what is parataxis and what is hypotaxis. Parataxis is a simple syntactic structure that acts as one of the most powerful tools in a writer's prose kit. The word originates from Greek, literally translating to place side by side. That is, para means beside and taxis means arrangement. In formal grammar, parataxis is the juxtaposition of clauses or sentences without using subordinating conjunctions like because, although, or since to show their relationship. Instead of using them, the clauses are linked by simple coordinating conjunctions like and, but, then, or punctuation alone, commas, semicolons, or periods. In toto, Gabriel García Márquez used it to manipulate tone and atmosphere of his writing, that is, especially his magical realism. He frequently uses parataxis, that is, joining clauses with simple coordinating conjunctions like and or then, rather than subordinating them like because or although. That is, by using simple conjunctions, the narrative treats extraordinary things, that is, wings, and mundane things, that is, baldness, teeth, neighbors, etc., with exact same weight. It creates a flat, matter of fact tone that is a hallmark of magical realism. The grammar doesn't type up magic, it treats it as an everyday tone. Next grammar element used by Marquez in these paragraphs are juxtaposition of nouns and restrictive modifiers. Listen the example from the text. Huge buzzard wings, dirty and half plucked. Huge buzzard wings, dirty and half plucked. You know, wings are noun that typically implies flight, majesty, angels. See the modifiers. Huge buzzard wings. Huge buzzard classifies the type of bird as scavenger. Dirty and half plucked. Listen here. Dirty and half plucked. They are the participles which describe wings. So they are descriptive participles. Here the grammar itself fights. The moment your brain processes the grand noun, that is wings, the modifiers immediately drag it down to the mud. Next grammar element is adverbial phrases, that is shifting the perspective via adverbial phrases. The second paragraph shifts how characters view the old man, and the transition is entirely anchored by adverbial phrase so long and so closely. See the example. They looked at him so long and so closely that Pelayo and Elisenda very soon overcame their surprise. See, there is an intensifier so. So the intensifier paired with the adverbs long and closely, that creates a cause and effect structure. They looked at him so long and so closely that is the cause. Pelayo and Elisenda very soon overcame their surprise is the effect. It mimics the passage of time grammatically. It shows that familiarity doesn't breed contempt here, it breeds normalcy. So these adverbial phrases transitions the old man from an alien monster to a boring neighbor just by the sheer duration of a gaze. Next structure element is past perfect and simple past tense. See, the neighbor woman changes the timeline of the story using a shift in verb tenses. Let's see it how. Listen the sentence. He must have been coming for child, but the poor fellow is so old that the rain knocked him down. Listen the structure. Must have been coming. What is the structure? Modal perfect progressive. Must is the modal verb. Have been coming perfect progressive. So modal perfect progressive is the structure there. Why it is used? Only to make a logical deduction about a continuous action that happened before the main story started. Now, simple present tense is shifts to the permanent, unchanging state of the man. He is old. Now say the simple past, knocked, a completed sudden action in the past. The neighbor woman completely changes the narrative dynamic. How? While Pelayo and Elisenda are stuck in passive present, that is, looking at him, the neighbor woman uses complex past tenses to give the old man a backstory and a purpose, instantly transforming him from a castaway into an angel. Now, the structure elements of these paragraphs are over. If you have any doubt on these areas, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section. I will clear it. Or if you want a long video on any of the sections in these structural elements, please comment me in the comment box. I will do it. Please like and share the video. Don't hesitate to subscribe if you are seeing it first time. Now let's come to the issue or subject matter of passages. First issue is the fallen Granger. He was dressed like a rag picker, a few faded hairs on a bald skull, very few teeth in his mouth, a drenched great-grandfather entirely stripped of grandeur. Next issue is
The wings in the dirt.
But it was his wings, huge buzzard wings, dirty and half-black, hopelessly entangled in the mud. Now the familiar stranger. They looked so long that the surprise faded. He felt familiar. They dared to speak to him. Now comes the test. What is it? To them, he was just a lonely castaway from a foreign shipwreck until the neighbor woman took one look. The neighbor woman said, "He is an angel. He must have been coming for the child, but the poor fellow is so old that the rain knocked him down. Now, the haunting area of Gabriel García Márquez's masterpiece, A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings, is coming to an end now. Watch as Pelayo, Elisenda, and their wise neighbor discover the truth behind the pathetic, winged old man trapped in their courtyard. Is he a castaway sailor or a fallen angel knocked down by the rain? If you love the magical realism, literature analysis, and dark cinematic stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video, the next part of the story. Thanks for watching.